What is going on, Governors? Chisgule here, and we have got a lot to talk about today because in the Rise of Civilizations Facebook, they announced that we are getting new talent trees for commanders in the upcoming patch. Now, we don't know exactly when this patch is going to go live, but they say it's around the corner. So what I want to do in this video is talk to you about how you can best prepare for this event, share with you everything that we know, and worth mentioning that in this video, I'm going to leave up this image from Facebook because we're going to refer back to it basically all the time. But you might want to open up your game to follow along with what I'm describing so you can compare them side to side. I'd show both images at the same time, but then they're going to be too small to be really valuable. So first up, let's talk for a minute about how you can prepare for these talent changes. And my friends, you should be preparing. Now, the first thing I want to say is that until we see how things shake out, I do not think you should be investing rare resources, such as legendary stars, tons of experience tomes, or sculptures that can be applied to any commander, because it is possible that the relative power of commanders will change based on the arrangement of these trees and the talents that are contained within them. And I will be honest, if you watched my last two videos, you saw I literally just invested heavily in Minamoto. And it makes me both anxious and excited. What if I should have leveled up some other legendary commander instead? What if I end up liking the talents on some other commander and the way that they operate a little bit differently? Now, look, I'm pretty confident that these changes will be positive all the way around, but because the balance of commanders might change, because the nature of commanders might shift slightly, I would hesitate and hold off to making major investments in any commander. Now, in a similar vein, if you are thinking about using a talent reset, I would think twice, because it seems really unlikely to me that they will not reset the talents of all of the commanders when they release this new update, because this talent tree, which you see the picture of here, sure does look a whole heck of a lot different than what we're currently working with. So with that said, let's talk about what we know, and I want to give a quote from the update from Facebook, where they indicate, "We have carefully designed a unique talent tree based on each commander's special traits to ensure that each commander has a distinct character." Now this leaves me with a lot of questions. The first is that, does this mean that each commander, every single one, has unique talents that only they can obtain, or that the arrangement of those talents is unique specifically to them? Or does this mean that each commander has a combination of those little mini trees that you can see? And if you look at this image, right, there's a tree in blue and it's labeled sapphire, a tree in red called ruby, a tree in yellow called topaz. Does this mean that each commander gets a combination of those trees corresponding to their attributes? Now, the current traits include infantry, archer, cavalry, defender, leader, nuker, jungler, support, gatherer, disabler. There might be one or two that I'm missing, but the thing I want to call out here is that the commander that's pictured here is a nuker, defender, and infantry. Now, this is the same set of traits that Sun Tzu has. So if the talent trees really are unique, I think this means that there are, in fact, talents for each commander that are different. Otherwise, the commander you see here and Sun Tzu, they would have potentially identical trees. That doesn't make any sense given that they're saying it's unique. Now, another thing that you can notice from this image is that the current trait colors don't align with the colors of the mini trees shown here. The commander shown here is a nuker, and that is colored purple in the game currently, and none of these are purple. They are an infantry, or have an infantry trait, which is yellow, and there is yellow here, but the icon doesn't match up. And then there is also defender, which is currently a blue-colored trait and is blue here. So it's hard to say how these things are going to line up exactly. I am eager to see how that shakes out and if we'll get more information about that specifically. But this still leaves me with a few additional questions. The first is that if these mini trees or their tree overall, is based on their traits, what happens for commanders that have fewer traits than 3? For instance, Charles Martel is a legendary, but only has 2 traits, infantry and defender. Take a look at Lohar, an epic, but is only a jungler. Does that mean that they only get 2 mini-trees or 1 mini-tree and that each of them has more depth? I'm not sure what that will look like. Now, 2 final questions that I have from the information that we see here is that most of the icons, if you look closely, and that's part of the reason why I'm keeping to this image, most of these icons are in existing talent trees. We see these icons already. But one in the upper left that looks kind of like a stick breaking, that is a new icon. So maybe they're just changing the icons around, or perhaps this is some evidence that we will see some unique talents to each of these commanders, and I hope that's true. The other big question that I have is around commanders that are typically used as secondary commanders, and so you plunk gathering talents on them because they're always secondary, and a secondary commander's talent don't apply. Only the main commander's talents apply for battle and for gathering. So for instance, I use Tomo for gathering, and she's always a secondary commander when she's out to battle, but I've put all gathering talents on her. Can I get a gathering build on her, or can I not do that because she doesn't have the gathering trait? There are a lot of questions that a new set of talents raises. In general, I think this is tremendously exciting. I think it's going to be really, really good for the game. And I'm eager to see how it all unfolds. If there's anything that I missed, did you find something here that I didn't see? Please do leave it in the comments. I am curious to see how much sleuthing we can do, how much we can figure out on our own here. And if you found this video informative or helpful, please do like, share, and subscribe. As a brand new content creator, it really does mean a whole heck of a lot. And until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.